guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina. Today I will be doing part 2, a review on the President McKinley AM and SSB radio. Now, as you may or may not be able to tell from this, this is not the old T100. This is, in fact, my Volvo. This is the winter car that I drive. I picked this thing up for about $500. Needed some rather major work, let's just put it that way. So I drive this in the wintertime, and I got to doing some math as far as mileage and stuff. Then I realized that I drive this a whole lot more than I drive my pickup truck. I probably only put maybe 3,000 or 4,000 miles a year on the old truck, because it does have 320,000 miles on it. But this here Volvo I do drive all winter long, so 5 months out of the year, let's say, I've got this thing on the road. I figured the McKinley would get a lot more use out of that. So anyway, I installed it on here. I'm super happy with it. This used to have a Cobra 19 installed in it. It was just an AM only radio. It did have some features that the President McKinley has, like weather function and scan, which are nice, but it did not have all the other really cool stuff. So that being said, let's get started on this here review. I guess I'll start with the microphone. It is a nice lightweight microphone from President, and it does have, it's a 6-pin. It does have channel up and down, which is why it is the 6-pin. And I do like the fact that it's got that. So channel up, down, got a regular push to talk here, and on the back it's got the hook. So pretty nice functional microphone. I'll just set that over here to the side. And let's get this party started. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to leave the volume all the way down for right now. As you can see, we'll go right through it here. So nicely lit buttons, dials here. So this dial right here, on, off, plus volume, the one behind it. We've got our squelch control, and this does have automatic squelch control, which I really like on the President models. I think they really nailed it on this. In fact, I don't think that anybody else's squelch control works quite as well as that, so that's cool. Then we got over here, well, this is our dial to move through the stations. And then we have a fine and coarse clarifier switch, and that's for the SSB mode. We'll get into that for a second. You'll notice right here we do have a front firing speaker, which is awesome. That's why it's a DIN mounted radio. Fit right into the slot here. It really looks nice. Really sounds nice too. So down here at the bottom we have our mode select. This is right here, AM, upper sideband, lower sideband. So we can just roll right through those very nicely. Here's our weather, and I'll go ahead and turn the volume up. You've got 7 stations for the weather.
Elsewhere in North Carolina, degrees.
So that's kind of cool. And you can also set it to alert. They will drive you and scare the bejesus out of you if you leave it on alert, because it'll be a pretty sharp, shrill sound when it comes through. So if you have your squelch up, that might scare you pretty good. But alert mode is available. Here we have noise blanker, ANL, and high cut. And they work really well. Let me go ahead and turn the volume back up. So here's with nothing. Noise blanket and ANL. High cut and all. I'll leave it on all because it's just a really good job at cutting out interference from the engine, cutting out interference from power lines, stuff like that. Really sounds good. Now let me go ahead and set that back, and I'll turn the squelch up to show you the last function on that button, and that is if you hold it, there it goes. It enters scan mode, and it'll go through scan until it finds something.
Hey, JP, look at Jacob with that great big golf cart.
Wow, maxing out the scale. Sounds like the Super Bowl's having fun this morning. Go ahead and turn the volume back down on that one. So there's scan, and that'll stay on until you turn it back off. Hold it down, and it goes away. Let me go ahead and get it on channel, maybe 11's going pretty strong too, it looks like. So I'll put it on 14, which is our local. Dual watch is also available there. I haven't really played with that one, but you can set memories. You have memory 1, 2, and 3, so these things can also be set as preset memory. But we do have our 9 emergency and 19, which is nice. Then go back to that one there. And then we have this one. This is how we set our memory. We also have functions, so it's kind of hard to see in the video, I'm sure, but over here we have RF gain bar. This down here is our another bar here. I'll go ahead and put it back on 11. Go ahead and put it on 11 here. I want to make sure the volume's down. Or 6 here. Yeah, so you can see right there, there's our power reading giving us our RF power. And when we transmit, it shows my transmit power as well. So let me move back over. We'll put it on 14. Seems quiet enough. So we have that. But if I push this button, we have our function button. Now I can enter a channel in. Then we have this RF gain, and now I have the ability to change if I want to have the RF all the way up or all the way down. And again, I'm not sure if you can see that, but a little RF gain light's blinking, and that becomes a bar graph for it. And then we go back to normal mode, and we have our megahertz, 27.125 for this one here, so that's really cool. We also have a mic gain function here, same thing, you can change the gain on that. So that is it for the buttons. And then we get into some other stuff, which is also really cool here. If I go ahead and push this down instead of turning it, well, I now can change the color of the screen. So I got blue, orange, and green. Those are the choices. I've been leaving mine on green. It seems to do well in the sunlight. But wait, there's more. We have the dimmer. So if you're riding at night and you want to turn this thing down so it doesn't blind you, well, it does have dimmer control. Another cool function, contrast as well. So again, we can turn down the contrast. A little weak right there at 0, but yes, you could definitely change that around as well. And then we get on to key beep. Now the 980, Uniden 980 is probably this, more similarly functioned radio. It does have a lot of the same stuff. Not quite as good as squelch control, and is lacking some other features like the front firing speaker. It also doesn't fit into a DIN. It can be kind of modified to fit, but in this sense, the McKinley certainly is the superior radio for mobile use. But as I was saying, let's go back. Well, a lot of complaints about the original Uniden 980 was that it had a key beep every time you change the channel or anything. It would beep like that, and there was no way to turn it off. Well, President McKinley, they give you that option, so you can turn that off. And then Roger beep, my favorite. If y'all know Farpoint Farms, I know a lot of you out there hate Roger beeps, but you have a little emblem that shows up there, and Roger beep is currently on. So that's nice that that's built in there. I really dig that. Then we have this SWR, and we also have tone control. I'll go back to SWR here in a minute, but we have tone control. So if you don't like the way it sounds coming out of this speaker, and I will say this speaker's nice and loud and puts out a really crisp sound, but you can change the tone to your liking there. So that's also a nice feature. And then we're back to it. So now let me show you the last feature on this, and this is probably, what I'm reading online is this is probably one of the best SWR meters built into a radio. And so far, I've been very happy with it. I compared it to a mechanical or an analog dial SWR meter, and this thing is right spot on. So I'm going to take the radio and I'm going to set it dead on channel 20. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to SWR, and what it's going to do is calibrate itself. It's going to check. All right, I'm going to turn the volume up so you hear this. You hear that solid beeping sound? Okay, and you see the 10. Well, there's no dots on the dial, so it just says 10, but that means SWR is 1.0. The solid beeping sound, without any pulses between it, means that it is a solid 1.0. So on channel 20 on my radio antenna, I've got this thing dialed right in. Okay? So now let's move this thing. Let me go back to this. So now I'm going to move it up to channel 40, and I'll run through it again because you can see, the arc of the channels. So on channel 40, my SWR is probably not exactly a 1.0, but let's give it a shot here. So now it's a 12, 1.2. So still a very acceptable reading. If I turn the volume up here, you hear how it's pulsing very rapidly? So the higher the SWR reading goes, the slower that pulse will be going. Beep, beep, beep. Anything over a 1.5 or a 15 on this meter is going to indicate that you probably need to do some adjustments. I'll go ahead and turn it down. We'll get off that screen. We'll go back to the channels. We'll go to channel 1. Wow, Skip is rolling. That's great, man. We'll finish out the video by listening to some of that. We'll try it again on channel 1 so we can see our curve. I'm going to guess it's probably right around 1.2, but we'll find out here in a second. Pretty close to a 0. So going back to my solid beep. So not bad. So my arc is pretty low. I've got a great antenna on this. And there we go. I'm going to turn that back down, and we'll go back to our regular stations, and we'll roll through some AM and some sideband stations here while the skip is rolling so you can see how it works. Anyway, as part of installing it on this, obviously it's not on the 102 steel whip, but I did have a Tram 300, which is a shorter antenna. I think it's either 32 or 36 inches. I got rid of that and put a Tram 3500 antenna on this. So it is like a 47-inch antenna. It is center mounted on the roof, so it should give an excellent pattern and should be a great performing antenna for this car. So that might have something to do with the fact that I'm getting some great signals this morning. So to wrap it up, let's listen to some AM and some sideband skip and see what's going on. Let's go ahead and get on to, that sounded like a sideband there, so let's see here. Look at this.
Feeling out
That's lower sideband. It sounds almost as good as AM. We'll see if we can contact anyone.
And have all my new lighting and all that stuff up. I'm hoping he shows up today.
CQDX, this is Farpoint Farms in the mountains, North Carolina, trying out a new radio. Anybody got a copy?
Yeah, I just feel lucky that he'll actually do something on a Sunday. He's a friend of mine. You know, we work together a lot down here, but I was kind of surprised he said he'd come on a Sunday.
Nah, I don't want to interrupt these two guys talking, but
I just heard you in there, and I just wanted to jump in and
sounds great.
Jump in and say hello to you.
All right, let's go back to AM here, and let's try some of the other stations. I guess I can use the Super Bowl channels to mess with the tone so you can hear the difference.
I tell you what we can do, schoolyard bully. We can go to court and work this thing out. Everything will be all right. Landlord gone.
So there's a low tone. I am Eric, the owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains, North Carolina, and I hope you enjoyed part 2 of the McKinley. Next up is the part that everyone has been waiting for. We'll do a range and a sound test with this thing, but on top of doing it on the AM mode, we'll do it on sideband, and I am really looking forward to that. A lot of you requested it. President Corporation was kind enough to send me this radio so we could demonstrate the difference between AM and sideband as far as range and audio quality. So I hope you'll stick around. Until then, I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms.